I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you of another underrated film that I had the pleasure of rewatching. It's actually been a while since I've seen it, and I thought this was a good thriller. The film is Eye in the Sky, starring Helen Mirren, Aaron Paul, Alan Rickman, and it's directed by Gavin Hood, who directed the, well, notorious Wolverine X-Men Origins film, but also directed this film called Ender's Game. But it's a story about a UK and US military operation of trying to capture a high value target in Kenya, but they doing it by observing uh, through drones and observe and record and pretty much trying to figure out what's the best motive to either capture or taken out. And the film was like around like an hour and 95 minutes or so around there. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, when I saw this movie, trying to fix this a little bit. This is Gavin Hood's best movie, by the way. And this is an intense thriller. It's kind of like those other movies I talked about, like Good Kill, but that one was a drama. This is a drama thriller that's more situational. Character development is there just a little bit, but it's mostly centered onto the story and the tension that the film really is trying to convey. And it's intense. It's an intense throughout from the start of the film through the end of it. And I'm gonna tell you the way that it ends. It does in a very questionable moral dilemma, and it deals with sacrifice and determining the best odds to make to minimize less casualties. This is not an easy film to kind of get into, and this is not an easy film to really to really morally really think about, because the movie really analyzes and shows you the moral dilemma that soldiers or people face in situations like that. And it's interesting to kind of see how they try to determine that by constantly requesting to answer to the upper levels of clearance of officials of generals, etc., and so forth, to to be absolutely sure that the decision that they're going to make in this um on this mission is 100% clear, because the last thing you want is a mess up, and then there's like the talk of international dilemmas that could trigger a war. This is something that film spells out clearly. And I actually love the dynamic that they go through by trying to go through clearance after clearance after clearance to upper elites to figure out if the decision that they're going to make is literally the best decision. And it's nerve wracking. It's a little bit comical, but it's nerve wracking. It's an anxiety inducing kind of movie to literally see that. And me as the viewer was literally scared for what was going to happen in case anybody messes up, or are they literally making the right decision, because they are innocents that are caught in the way of that. And it's frightening. It's something you don't want to take lightly, and it's a touchy subject, and I don't want to express too much about it because, again, I don't know much personally about it. But from what I'm understanding and observing from this film, it's it's something where you really have to have a lot of guts and a lot of you just have to have that mentality. And when you go through it, you really need to, I think, emotionally restrain yourself to make a decision like this. Um, the film is directed masterfully. It's amazing. It's it's one of those thrillers where you're constantly the deeper you go into this film, the longer this film progresses on, the longer you get nervous of what could happen. And you got these dilemmas that just constantly just keep coming in where you literally are trying to have innocent people in the film avoid this situation that the military is trying to not go, but they're literally close to really getting there. Especially if there's a high value target that they're trying to prevent from possibly, doing more damage to the world. And it's very it's very intense, and it's also tragic and sad at the same time, and it's scary. There's a number of good actors in here. The Bark Had a Dewey, who plays a spy that's kind of in and out and kind of the running man for the upper heads, and he's on the site of where the situation is taking place. So he's pretty much their spy doing a lot of their work around the area. He's great in here, but he's kind of like again like the running man. And when he's put into that situation, dang it, I won't say you feel for the guy, but you feel the intensity that he has or the situation that he has to go through. Aaron Paul, where he operates the drone and he's responsible for firing that kind of weapon, you see him going through more dilemmas and situations, and you see him trying to resist um his bosses, the upper levels, to make sure and to be absolutely sure this is the decision he makes, because at the end of the day he's the one literally pulling the trigger. And then you also have Helen Mirren, who and then you have Alan Rickman, who you all understand that they're all trying to capture this high value personnel that they've been going after for quite some time and don't want to lose the opportunity. But you also have people at the lower levels making the decisions to do, I guess you could say, their bidding, or to do the action, to do the act, what they have to do. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see the dynamic. You have people up above giving orders, and then you have the people that literally have to do it and literally fighting that dilemma. And it's not an easy watch to literally see that struggle. Because I'm gonna tell you, watching this film, you literally get anxiety and just wanting to know that you don't want them to make the fateful decision that could happen into the film. Like you literally don't. It's not an action heavy film. It's not. It's a political thriller. It's a political, um, somewhat espionage thriller of literally government making decisions about how they're going to handle and deal with conflicts such as these, and it's it's intense. It's heartbreaking. It's tough, but I recommend it. I could tell you where you could watch it at, or just put on the comments. I'm sure you can find it for free, or actually it's on Max. You could just type up the title and you could just find it there, and it tells you the availability of uh where to find it. Or I could probably tell you where to find it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a good film. This is a good film that you have to check out. Um, The message isn't all black and white. It's very it provides you questions, but I can tell you this is a thriller you don't want to miss. Eye in the Sky. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.